Welcome to Deadly Dames. So in the post this morning arrived my new steelbook wraps, so it kind of prompted me to take all of my steelbooks off the shelf and make sure all of them had a wrap on them. So I just figured since I had them all down, I might as well do a complete steelbook collections video. So I'll start off with the Arrow video ones that I have, because there are some new additions in here that I don't think I've put on videos yet. It's definitely at least one because it came through the post this morning with the sleeves. So I've got Inferno, Phenomena. That's actually one of the ones that I was after for an extremely long time, and I'm so glad to finally have it because the artwork that's on it is amazing. Black Sunday, The Phantom of Paradise, and again the artwork on these is just I mean, Arrow, they don't let you down with their steelbooks. Audition, which is actually recently gone out of print on the Arrow website, but if you are still after this, I have seen it still in HMV, so there are still some kicking about. White of the Eye, The Burbs, Battle Royale. This is a new one. This is the Fall of the House of Usher. I'm not a fan of steelbooks that go this way, but I made an exception for these ones because they are so nice. Theatre of Blood. So this is another one that goes this way rather than that way. And I'm sorry if there's a bit of glare on it, it's just because they are in protective sleeves. Foxy Brown, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Another one that I was after for an extremely long time, and that is the Zombie Flesh Eaters steelbook. The Beyond, I think the artwork that's on this is amazing. Day of the Dead. Running out of space. Tenebrae. I just love the poster work to this, so they put it up the right way would maybe work. The artwork to Tenebrae, I just absolutely love it. There you are. Rabid. I love how they kept it quite simple at the back for Rabid and Shivers. Shivers. This one's obviously got the bathtub scene, although I don't think that woman looks anything like Barbara Steele, but it is obviously meant to be the bathroom scene. A new one as well, so City of the Living Dead. I've been after this for a very, very long time. It was always so expensive online, and I actually managed to get it online with Computer Exchange for a really good deal considering how much it usually sells for, so I'm glad I finally have that. The Pit and the Pendulum, another one that goes sideways, but again made an exception for this particular Blu-ray. There we are. Blood and Black Lace, and I know you can't really see it in the video, but the writing that's on this is actually like shiny, but it's part of the picture. And the artwork again, as you can see, is really, really nice in these. Maniac Cop. Demons, and Demons 2, because it's on the same steelbook. And last but not least for the Arrow videos is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There we are. And then if I just move on to, I'll just set this up here a second. I'm just going to move on to the Eurekas. So I've got the Lost Weekend. Hold on to adjust the. There we are. Double Indemnity. Metropolis. This is an out of print version now, but it was one that you could enter a competition to win like a gold bar, but I didn't win it. Lifeboat. Cleopatra. And again, I'm sorry about the glare on some of this, it is just because they're in protective casings now. So, Touch of Evil, And then my only 88, well it is the only 88 edition that's in a steelbook, so I'm hoping to do more, and that is the Toxic Avenger. And then we'll just go on to all of my other steelbooks. So you can see some of them in front of you, but I'll just lift them up. So Dr. Terror's House of Horror, I absolutely love this steelbook. It's really pretty. It's a limited edition. I think it's, I want to say 5,000, but I might be wrong. I've got 3,978. The only thing that annoys me about this is it's one of those ones where it's got nothing on the side, only on the front, but that is a really pretty steelbook. And then the 25th anniversary of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I got the red edition, and there's what sold it on the back. I absolutely love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think it's a genius movie, and it's one of those movies that I have to watch at least once a year. Then Willow, probably one of my all-time favourite adventure films. I'm thinking about doing an adventure films like list of my top 10. I was going to do a top 10 favourite movies of all time, but I couldn't pick a top 10 that was like, because there's too many favourites from too many different genres, so I kind of thought I'd maybe cheat a little bit and do a top 10 like favourites for different genres, like adventure and horror and fantasy, things like that. Human Centipede 1, Human Centipede Part 2 is also on this as well, so you'll see on the side, 1 and 2. It's funny because like the main part of this is taken up with the guy from the second one, but you can see the Doctor and his glasses right there. They never released a steelbook for Part 3, so maybe still to come. Part 3 wasn't that great though. Evil Dead. You can still get this one really quite cheap just now. It's 2 and Army of Darkness that are impossible to get. Well, they're not impossible, you're just going to pay a bit of money for them. 13 Assassins. The remake of Total Recall, not as bad as people made it out to be. I do actually like it. I think I enjoyed that they did something different from the original one, but only my opinion. Second Sight's release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I really do like this. I bought this thinking there was no way that it was going to stay in sale for that long. I thought it was going to go out of print really quickly, but it hasn't. You can still get it, and you can still get it relatively cheap. 10,000 BC, I still need to watch this one. I only picked it up because it was £2, but haven't got around to watching it yet. Django Unchained, and I'll just turn it over, you can see the back of it. How to Train Your Dragon, I think this is the only cartoon that I've got in steelbook, but I love How to Train Your Dragon, it was a really good movie. The Reflecting Skin, right now it's just reflecting light. There's the back. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still trying to get over that cold. Return of the Living Dead. Absolutely love this steelbook, and it's packed full of extras. The thing is, it's released by Second Sight as well, and usually a Second Sight release doesn't actually have a lot of extra features, but that one does. Company of Wolves. I love this movie. Yeah. Another Second Sight amazing release, which is the Reanimator, if I could say it correctly. Steelbook, which is just here. I don't think you're going to be able to see the back without it glaring too much. Maybe there. It's just a drawing in a black background. Then the French release of Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer on the same one. I have recently bought the steelbook of Conan the Barbarian, which was the UK release. It's still in the post, so I haven't got it yet. Sweeney Todd. Silent Hill. Now this is actually a metal pack, so it's like it's from Future Pack here. I don't really like those clips at the side, but I love Silent Hill and I really wanted a steelbook, so made an exception for that one. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The Revenant. Final Destination 5. The Expendables 2. I am planning on picking up the Expendables 1 and 3, but I just haven't seen them yet, so I've not got around to it. This is a Future Pack release of Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. I'm not actually the biggest fan of these releases, but it was very cheap. Horns. The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original. The remake was terrible. Commando. My other half's a big Arnie fan. The Wolfman, this is a remake. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but the steelbook was really cheap, so I thought I'd give it another go. And I haven't got around to watching it yet, so it's still on the list. I did, however, watch this, which is a remake of The Karate Kid. You know something, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. I actually did quite enjoy it, so I'm going to admit it, I quite enjoyed it. It's not as good as the original Karate Kid, but it was still enjoyable. Teen Wolf. Secretly kind of like the TV series Teen Wolf as well. I know I'm shaming myself here. Poltergeist, I will never own the remake of that because it was atrocious. True Romance. The Avengers. These are all mixed up because they've been pulled off the shelf and that, so they're going to come up in different parts. But there's a Attack on Titan the movie part 1. 2 is somewhere in here. Wolf Cop, this is a beautiful steelbook, so it's got the casing on it, but it is a really pretty steelbook. I showed it in a previous video. Total Recall, the original, still better than the remake, but the remake, as I said, wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. Cabin in the Woods. Old Boy. Natural Born Killers. Man of Steel. This is one of these weird, it's not a metal pack. I'm guessing it's kind of like a steelbook, but it's not, and it's Gremlins. I have showed it in a previous video as well. You're Next. I can't pronounce the first part of this, so I'll just let you read it rather than embarrass myself. Dead Man. Probably one of my top 10 Johnny Depp movies. Dracula. Ghostbusters 2. I've just pre-ordered the new Ghostbusters because I'm on the side of it wasn't that bad a movie. So, Ghostbusters, not as good as the original, but I still enjoyed it. Prometheus. Again, another movie that gets a hard time, but I actually really like it. This is new pickups here. My other half really wanted them. She asked me to go and get them, and they're actually pretty cool. I'm more a Tobey Maguire fan of Spider-Man, but it's the Amazing Spider-Man one and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think it suffered from the same problem as Spider-Man 3 did, as they tried to introduce too many characters into it. Green Mile. Tron. And really like this one, Cabin Fever. I like the steelbook, it's very shiny. I might run out of time here, so I might need to do a part 2, but I'll keep going and see how many I can get in. Southpaw. Wolf Creek. Love the artwork on this one, and that's Bronson. Westworld. Amazing film. I'm actually looking forward to the TV series, see what they can do with it. 10 Cloverfield Lane. The Woman. Really good movie. Deliverance, and this is a really pretty steelbook. I love the artwork on the back of it. "30 Days of Night." This was the one that just came through this morning. As I said, my other half's a really big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and even though this isn't his best movie, I really liked it and really wanted it, so I picked it up for her. And that's The Last Stand. And I am going to run out of time, so I'm going to have to do a part 2. There's not an awful lot left for part 2, so it shouldn't be too long, but thanks for watching and take care.